Hello. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comments or suggest a monitor that isn't on this list so others can benefit from your recommendation. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our new videos. Subject: Best monitors for work, gaming, and budget 2024. 4K 1440p HDR Ultrawide 1080p Esports. Disclaimer: Please note that the prices mentioned in this video were accurate at the time of its creation. Prices are subject to change. The product availability on the websites was as of the time this video was made. No compensation was received for promoting these products. This video was created solely for the purpose of providing unbiased guidance. If you require further assistance before making a purchase, please leave a comment or conduct a more thorough search for the product. If possible, it is recommended that you examine the product in person. Ensure that you make your purchase from reputable sources and websites. Verify that the product comes with a valid warranty card. Visually inspect the product upon receipt and record a video from the moment of delivery to the setup process. Best 1440p overall. Asus XG27AQD-MG 360Hz QD-OLEDs. For most gamers, 1440p remains the sweet spot for price and performance in 2024. With new OLED options at the high end and price reductions for LCDs in the middle and lower parts of the range, there's something for everyone at this resolution. For those seeking the ultimate 1440p gaming monitor, we currently recommend the Asus ROG Strix XG27AQD-MG. This new glossy OLED monitor offers a 27-inch panel size, 1440p resolution, and 240Hz refresh rate with adaptive sync. For most gamers looking for a high-end, brilliant gaming display, the XG27AQD-MG provides an excellent range of features and performance without being overpriced. There are a few reasons why we recommend this specific model. Firstly, as an OLED, it features individual pixel control and elite response times, making it particularly well-suited for HDR gaming. Its transition speed at 240Hz results in motion clarity roughly equivalent to 360Hz LCDs, and these benefits are evident at lower refresh rates as well, making it highly versatile for all sorts of gaming, whether single-player or multiplayer. The HDR performance here is very good, leading to excellent image quality, particularly for single-player experiences. We get deep, zero-level blacks and tight control over highlights, producing clean HDR imagery free of zone artifacts. This particular OLED also has decent brightness for both high and low APL content, in addition to a glossy coating that preserves good black levels and is free from coating grain. The XG27AQD-MG is also relatively affordable as far as OLEDs are concerned, priced at $700 to $750. Yes, that's still an expensive price tag overall, but this Asus model is better than its competitors, which start around $650, particularly in terms of brightness. We generally recommend the XG27AQD-MG over 360Hz QD OLED alternatives because we believe 240Hz is sufficient for most gamers, and the Asus model is around $100 cheaper than the cheapest QD OLEDs. However, we wouldn't rule out QD OLED options like the MSI MPG271QRX or Dell Alienware AW2725DF. Especially for competitive gamers where better motion clarity and lower input latency at 360Hz are beneficial. At the same refresh rate, there is little difference between OLED and QD OLED, though QD OLEDs do have better text clarity, which could justify the more expensive offering. That said, we generally only recommend OLED for content consumption, such as gaming or watching videos. There is a risk of permanent burn-in with OLEDs, exacerbated by static content like that seen when using productivity apps and web browsers. For mixed use cases or situations where you primarily use your display for work, it's difficult to recommend an OLED right now. Best 1440p budget: AOC Q27G3 XMN, LG 27GR83Q, MSI G274QPX. For budget 1440p gamers, there are a few ways to go. If you're interested in HDR gaming, mostly for single-player titles, we recommend the AOC Q27G3 XMN. It's a 27-inch 1440p 180Hz VA LCD with 336 zone local dimming, and at just $280, it's one of the cheapest and best entry points to HDR gaming on the market right now. It outperforms most monitors advertised to support HDR, which typically only have inadequate, edge-lit dimming. While not matching an OLED in terms of HDR performance, the AOC offers reasonable full-array dimming capable of producing deeper blacks and a higher-than-standard contrast ratio. Peak brightness is in the 1300 nit range. However, for gamers seeking the best motion clarity, this VA LCD isn't the best in that area, so it's a trade-off between contrast capabilities and speed. We also had some concerns over backlight zone flickering. But generally, if you have just $300 to spend and want a true HDR gaming monitor, this AOC display is the way to go. If HDR performance is less of a concern and you prefer a faster monitor with better motion clarity, we recommend an IPS LCD at the same price point. Specifically, the MSI G274QP-FQD is a good choice at $270, providing a 27-inch 1440p panel at 170 Hz. It's 15 to 20% faster than the Q27G3 XMN and does not suffer from visible dark smearing or backlight zone flicker. Additionally, you get better viewing angles and great color performance with a wide color gamut. What you are sacrificing is HDR, which this display doesn't support. A step above these is the MSI G274QPX and LG 27GR83Q, both 27-inch 1440p 240Hz IPS LCDs. The MSI model is consistently around $350, while the LG fluctuates between $350 and $500. At $500, the LG model simply isn't worth it, so we'd go with the MSI model. However, if you can get the LG at its discounted $350 price, it's the better version and is what we recommend. The main reason to spend the extra $80 is the higher refresh rate, which has its benefits in motion clarity and input lag for multiplayer titles. The 27GR93Q, in particular, is also better tuned across the refresh range and comes more accurate out of the box compared to either of the MSI monitors we've mentioned. So that's a healthy set of improvements as the price creeps more into the mid-range. We advise avoiding any 1440p 240Hz LCD priced above $400 and any 1440p 180Hz-ish LCD priced above $300. There are many monitors in these categories, and many are overpriced, usually offering nothing to justify their higher price tags. Best 4K overall: 4K QD-OLEDs, Asus, Dell, Gigabyte, MSI. The ultimate 4K gaming monitor right now is one of the many 4K QD-OLEDs that hit the market in the first half of 2024. OLED brings lightning-fast response times and individual pixel control, resulting in an excellent HDR gaming experience for gamers. When you step up to 4K, you get a higher resolution, better text clarity, and a larger panel size, making these displays some of the best on the market overall. While there are two 4K OLED variants available, QD OLED is the better choice for most people. The 32-inch 4K 240Hz QD OLED panels we've tested produce higher real-world HDR brightness, better color volume, slightly better text quality, and lower prices. The glossy screen coating can have issues in brighter environments, but the clarity it provides is highly sought after. Especially if you're not a fan of matte screens and their coating grain. Our recent 4K OLED versus 4K QD OLED feature goes into more detail on this. We've tested 4 of the available 4K QD OLED offerings from Asus, Dell, Gigabyte, and MSI, and overall performance is very similar between them, though each offers unique selling points. Generally speaking, if you're after fast response times, great motion and text clarity, a high refresh rate at 4K, excellent HDR, deep blacks, etc., you get that with all the models. So it's hard to go wrong. They all share the same QD OLED panel, which explains why the performance characteristics are so similar. To help you decide on a specific model, here's what we recommend. The Asus ROG Swift PG32 UCDM has the best feature set with an unlocked sRGB mode, eLMB black frame insertion, and promised Dolby Vision support, but is typically the most expensive. The Gigabyte Aorus FO32U2P is the only one with DisplayPort 2.1U HDR20 connectivity, providing a way to access 4K 240Hz without DSC. The Dell Alienware AW3225QF is the cheapest variant in most regions, sometimes by a significant margin, which makes it a great choice if you don't mind the curved panel. It also supports Dolby Vision out of the box. The MSI MPG321URX is the most affordable in the US and has the best set of user-customizable OLED care features. There are also several models we haven't tested that could offer better value. The Gigabyte FO32U2 is the same as the U2P model but without DisplayPort 2.1, and it's typically cheaper. There's also the MSI MAG321UPX, similar to the 321URX but without USB ports. Originally, this model didn't support firmware updates, but now MSI tells us it does, though we haven't tested how it works yet. While we think the 4K 240Hz QD OLED offerings are generally the way to go for most buyers, especially those focused on single-player HDR gaming, 4K OLED is still worth considering in some situations. If you're a gamer who loves fast-paced competitive multiplayer titles, a 4K OLED like the LG 32GS95UE might be the better choice. These 32-inch OLED panels offer a unique dual-mode feature that allows switching between 4K 240Hz and 1080p 480Hz modes at the press of a button. The 1080p 480Hz mode has noticeably better motion clarity and lower input lag than 4K 240Hz modes, making it better for playing titles like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, or Apex Legends if you don't mind the drop in resolution. Given that it also supports 4K 240Hz, you can switch back to a higher resolution experience for single-player or less motion-sensitive titles, giving you the best of both worlds, an awesome feature for those who enjoy a wide variety of games. However, the LG is more expensive than a typical QD OLED, is less well-calibrated, doesn't get as bright in real-world scenes, and lacks other features. Best 4K budget: LG 27GR93U, Gigabyte M27U. If you don't want to go OLED or spend over $1,000, there are still great budget-oriented 4K monitors in the mid-range of today's market. A typical price to pay is between $450 and $500, and in that range, we recommend either the Gigabyte M27U or the LG 27GR93U. Both are 27-inch 4K IPS LCDs, with the Gigabyte model at 160Hz and the LG at 144Hz, which is a negligible difference. Both options offer a balanced experience across all areas of performance, from response time, speed to color quality. Motion performance is similar to that of other modern IPS LCDs, providing a wide gamut experience, great brightness, reasonable factory calibration, and, of course, The excellent resolution of a 4K panel suited to productivity work as well as gaming. Being an LCD instead of an OLED also means no concerns over burn-in, though the trade-off is the lack of HDR hardware capabilities. The LG option is generally better due to features like hardware color calibration support and slightly better response time tuning, but it's typically a little more expensive than the Gigabyte. There's not much difference between them, so the best option for you will come down to local pricing and specific features you might be interested in. Either option performs well and offers tons of versatility for work and play.